I may have coined a new phrase, so one of my partners, Jen Artin, decided to place the trademark underneath technology tokenism, which means using tech for the sake of using it. We want to avoid tokenism in education, and the following presentation will review how tokenism exists in many educational institutions. For tonight's agenda, we'll look at the context, the current and future state. I'll state the problem. We'll explore some possible solutions, provide a summary, and then allow for a Q&A. The context and what may seem like a long build-up to the problem. The context is based on the epistemological order as defined in the EDUC 5101 course outline, which states they are skills and abilities in using digital technologies for the purpose of analyzing information, synthesizing information, and evaluating information. From the Essential Employability Skills as published by the Ministry of Colleges and Universities, we are focusing on the skills around information management and critical thinking and problem solving. As you can see, these are the epistemological skills that are needed. Given the current abundance of Web 2.0 technologies, how can educators navigate through this minefield? The future state with emerging 3.0 and 4.0 technologies will only make this minefield more complex. The educational technology market has exploded. The EdTech industry is predicted to be worth $252 billion by 2020. These annual conferences, supported by thousands of private EdTech companies, are all competing to be the next it factor, the next hottest commodity in education, playing heavily on the hearts and minds of the teachers and administrators who attend these events. This is a great quote. It's not information overload, it's filter failure, which can be problematic. The term information overload was coined by Bertram Gross in 1964. Gross said information overload occurs when the amount of input to a system exceeds its processing capacity. Decision makers have fairly limited cognitive processing capacity. Consequently, when information overload occurs, it is likely that a reduction in decision quality will occur. Another great quote and image. Getting information off the internet is like taking a drink from a fire hydrant. So, the problem. With the proliferation of technology tools, how do educators decide which ones are best for enhancing knowledge? This is a model the University of British Columbia uses to evaluate tech tools. This can lead to a divide between faculty and administrators evaluating tech tools because purchasing power is not something teachers have, and administrators could sacrifice affordances due to cost. So now we will investigate some solutions. There are many great resources, such as Teaching in a Digital Age, which is a free downloadable book, or you can pay a nominal fee of $20 for the Teacher's Guide to Tech. When you search teacher blogs, you come up with results like 52 blogs you should be following. Who really has the time to follow 52 blogs? You could start with the Bloom's taxonomy in order to evaluate the purpose of using a digital tool, and we found this handy chart that summarizes the various technologies and their affordances aligned with the taxonomy. The SAMR model is also a useful tool for teachers to utilize when evaluating the validity of a tech tool they're considering. Another way to use the SAMR model is to align it with Bloom's taxonomy. This is another tool to help evaluate the tech instrument and how it will assist in developing a pedagogical activity in accordance to the various learning theories. Mind mapping, or information visualization, as defined by the Interactive Design Foundation, is designed to help us make sense out of data. It can be used to explore relationships between data, to confirm ideas we hold about data, or to explain data in easy-to-digest manner. These images are some of the most common mind mapping tools available. Jonassen, Peck, and Wilson said, "The teacher needs to help students discover what the larger community of scholars regards as meaningful conceptions and to evaluate their own beliefs and understanding in terms of those standards." For the purpose of this presentation, what would happen to this quote if we replaced students with teachers? In other words, what would happen if small groups of teachers were given purchasing power? It would become a pull strategy instead of a push strategy. In the push system, we have administrators making the tech decisions for us. Sometimes there is a disconnect between administrators and teachers, and often a miscommunication of needs. We recommend the following solution: a community of practice to help put all the pieces of the puzzle together. A COP will help filter through the volume of EdTech tools. There are many great digital tools such as Slack, Trello, and Google Hangouts, which are open collaborative tools. Within the community of practice, participants could form teaching diamonds. They could create experts that can be influential within the institution and help move to a pull system. If all the resources, such as books, tools, and checklists, were compiled in one social environment, it would be easier for teachers to find, use, and discuss them. Online tools such as Slack or Trello can help peer-to-peer collaboration, share ideas about building best practices, and the community should include non-teachers as a way to avoid a cozy homogeneous viewpoint, as pointed out in Hodkinson's 2004 study on COPs. You could also create a checklist and let others know if a tech tool met course learning outcomes. Ultimately, this could reduce technology tokenism, as members of the community will learn what worked, why it worked, and how they could adapt for learning purposes. In summary, we all need to keep calm and make the right choice. And if you attend an EdTech conference, bring a buddy and your credit card. This concludes the presentation, and it will also be available on our WebKF in case you want the full list of references which are here. Please return to the classroom and give me a check mark.